What's going on, VC? Yours truly again with another video. Um, the subject of this video is what's on the stream on the banner below: 10 horror soundtracks. I've seen a lot of people or some people post horror related soundtracks since it is Halloween. We're getting closer to Halloween. So I thought I would share some of my horror soundtracks. Not any that I've shown before, because have shown some before, so I don't want to repeat. That's one of the things that kind of annoys me is when people repeat showing the same albums over and over again. It's just a pet peeve of mine. And my thing is, if you don't have anything to show, don't show anything. Don't be showing the same shit. Anyway, so 10 horror soundtracks. So I went through my collection. I picked 10 real quick. Didn't do much research, just kind of went on Discogs real quick just to get familiarized on the composers and whatnot. So these are my 10. Started off with this one, which is called Eyeball from Bruno Nicolai. But the movie Eyeball is also known as, I know it as, Red Queen Kills 7 Times. That's the American title I know it as, but apparently it's also known as Eyeball. This is a great soundtrack by Bruno Nicolai, which is a great Italian composer who, everyone always mentions Ennio Morricone, but Bruno Nicolai is also responsible for a lot of great horror, spaghetti western soundtracks. He is definitely one of my top 3 Italian composers when it comes to genre films. So yeah, Eyeball. Never seen anyone in the VC post this one before. Let's move on to number 2. This is another soundtrack by Bruno Nicolai. The Night Evelyn Came Out of the Grave, which is a giallo, great giallo movie, and the music that accompanies it. Very atmospheric, great pressing by Death Waltz. Death Waltz, you can't go wrong with any of their reissues. They do a magnificent job. Various color pressings, great covers, OBs always with information on the composer and the movie itself. So, yep, another one by Bruno Nicolai. This one dips into the cannibal genre. This one is Umberto Lenzi's Cannibal Feroce. And this is by composer Roberto Donati. I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, that's a gruesome picture there of a guy getting his brains ready to be served. One of the more famous cannibal genre movies, Cannibal Feroce, along with Cannibal Holocaust, Cannibal Apocalypse. There's so many cannibal movies, but this is definitely one of the top 3 for sure, up there with Cannibal Holocaust. So never seen too many people show this one before, but yeah, Cannibal Feroce, can't go wrong. And then on the more classical theme, this is Dracula by James Bernard. Classic Hammer movie. This was like the resurgence of your classical monsters, your Frankensteins, your Draculas, and Mummy, done by Hammer Film Studios in the late 50s, early 60s. This is definitely a classic with Christopher Lee as the protagonist, Dracula. Gorgeous soundtrack by James Bernard. He was responsible for many other great soundtracks, but this is definitely up there in his catalog. Sticking with the Hammer films, this is Dracula AD 1972 by Mike Vickers. Now this one has a little bit more of a early 70s jazz, rock, funk feel to it. Very contemporary for its time. Great soundtrack. Another one by Death Waltz, as you can tell by the great artwork. It's got a orange splatter. Sorry about the glare, but it's got the Obi with describes the movie and a little bit about Mike Vickers. Definitely a very groovy entree into the Hammer film soundtrack. This was the tail end of the Hammer film, classic Hammer film monsters, where they were getting a little bit more racy, a little more bloody. Definitely one to enjoy. Not my top favorite, but definitely a favorite amongst all the Dracula Hammer films. And then this is a classic from the 80s. Anyone who is into punk rock will recognize this. Now, this is the reissue. Not too long ago, I showed an original that I scored, but this is a reissue which glows in the dark on blue. You can see there, blue wax. A classic with just a hodgepodge of punk rock acts from 1984. This is also groundbreaking in that it used contemporary music with punk rock, a punk rock cast, and some of the most memorable zombies in the zombie genre. Another great offbeat vampire movie, Near Dark by Tangerine Dream. Great soundtrack. Tangerine Dream later in their existence started to make more soundtracks. Before they were more of an ambient, krautrockish band, and then they got their talent got noticed and they started doing soundtracks. Another great soundtrack they do is the movie Thief, but I'll show that one at a later time since this is more of a horror genre soundtrack. So yeah, Near Dark, great cover. Tangerine Dream. And then we go into some Italian horror movies. This is by Fabio Frizzi, from the movie Manhattan Baby by the director Lucio Fulci. Great Italian giallo horror movie from the late Lucio Fulci, which I'm a big fan of. This one's on yellow wax. So glad that these were being put out, reissued, because originals were only available the year that they came out. I think this one came out in 1982, so very difficult to track Italian soundtracks of the early 80s. Another Lucio Fulci masterpiece with a soundtrack by Fabio Frizzi is A Cat in the Brain. If you are a Lucio Fulci fan, say that 3 times. You'll be familiar with this title, A Cat in the Brain. Really gorgeous pressing on. I got just the regular black version. I don't remember if this came out on colored wax, but it was released by Mondo. Mondo's another great label, that releases high quality reproduction soundtracks. So you might want to check this out. I may put some links below to some of these soundtracks so y'all can check it out. And last but not least is another collaboration between the late Lucio Fulci and Fabio Frizzi. This one is City of the Living Dead, which is a great atmospheric soundtrack. I remember seeing this movie in the theater when it first came out, back in 1983, I believe. I saw it in 83 as a midnight feature, and man, the music is just as intense as the movie. The gore, of the movie. But this is another release by Death Waltz. This one, I forget what color it is on, but it came out in several colors. Some more collectible than others, I think, because they made lesser pressings. But a great collaboration with the maestro Lucio Fulci and Fabio Frizzi. So yeah, that's it. Those are my 10 horror soundtracks for the month of October. Hopefully y'all can share some of your own, and if you do, tag me so I can go ahead and watch your video and give it a like and give it a comment. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you to my new subscribers. A few have popped up since that article that my image was featured on Goldmine magazine came up. I picked up a couple of new subscribers. So welcome. Hopefully you like the content of my videos, and you continue to visit and give me a thumbs up if you like this, and leave a comment if you like. You all be cool, and I'll see you on the next video or on the next live stream. Bye.